Hello, am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
That's great. Okay, now we can start our session. Let others join in the meantime. So, we have been discussing the trolley problem case for the last class, right? Okay,
Yes, sir.
right. So, we will continue a discussion with your views on the two versions in the trolley case. Okay, few students have responded. I want more students to express your views. Okay, only 3 to 5, 3, 8, 3, 11, 14. 14 students from two sections responded. And we have more than 120 students. So please participate as it is very crucial for your teaching assessment also. Otherwise, on what basis you will be given marks? You think by yourself. If your number is not falling down in the bracket, you will be given 0. How will you get marks? Hello, am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yes, we have got disconnected. So I just told that shall I show you video once again on trolley problem? Or you will carry on your discussion?
Sir, your voice is lagging.
Now it's clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. So I'm telling, shall I show you the video on trolley problem again or we will carry on our discussion?
Sir, I think we need a quick recap of that video.
Okay. So just wait, I'm going to show you the video once again.
सर जिसने बोल दिया उसे दोबारा से बोलना है क्या?
Imagine you're watching a runaway trolley.
It is not sharing.
Just wait a minute.
5 workers who
Let
can't
me
see
first send you the
you happen
link
to be
of the
standing
video.
next to a switch that
Did
will
you get the
divert
link?
trolley onto a second track. Here's the problem.
Please
That
respond
track has
quickly.
a worker on it too.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right.
What do? Do you sacrifice sacrifice one person to save five. This is the trolley problem, a version of an ethical dilemma that philosopher Philippa Foot devised in 1967. It's popular because it forces us to think about how to choose when there are no good choices. Do we pick the action with the best outcome?
Can you
or
see the
stick to a
YouTube?
moral code that prohibits causing someone's death? In one survey, about 90% of respondents said.
Can you see now?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Imagine you're watching a runaway trolley barreling down the tracks, straight towards five workers who can't escape. You happen to be standing next to a switch that will divert the trolley onto a second track. Here's the problem. That track has a worker on it too, but just one. What do? Do you sacrifice one person to save five? This is the trolley problem, a version of an ethical dilemma that philosopher Philippa Foot devised in 1967. It's popular because it forces us to think about how to choose when there are no good choices. Do we pick the action with the best outcome or stick to a moral code that prohibits causing someone's death? In one survey, about 90% of respondents said that it's okay to flip the switch, letting one worker die to save five. And other studies, including a virtual reality simulation of the dilemma, have found similar results. These judgments are consistent with the philosophical principle of utilitarianism, which argues that the morally correct decision is the one that maximizes well-being for the greatest number of people. The five lives outweigh one, even if achieving that outcome requires condemning someone to death. But people don't always take the utilitarian view, which we can see by changing the trolley problem a bit. This time, you're standing on a bridge over the track as the runaway trolley approaches. Now there's no second track, but there is a very large man on the bridge next to you. If you push him over, his body will stop the trolley, saving the five workers, but he'll die. To utilitarians, the decision is exactly the same. Lose one life to save five. But in this case, only about 10% of people say that it's okay to throw the man onto the tracks. Our instincts tell us that deliberately causing someone's death is different than allowing them to die as collateral damage. It just feels wrong, for reasons that are hard to explain. This intersection between ethics and psychology is what's so interesting about the trolley problem. The dilemma and its many variations reveal that what we think is right or wrong depends on factors other than a logical weighing of the pros and cons. For example, men are more likely than women to say it's okay to push the man over the bridge. So are people who watch a comedy clip before doing the thought experiment. And in one virtual reality study, people were more willing to sacrifice men than women. Researchers have studied the brain activity of people thinking through the classic and bridge versions. Both scenarios activate areas of the brain involved in conscious decision-making and emotional responses. But in the bridge version, the emotional response is much stronger. So is activity in an area of the brain associated with processing internal conflict. Why the difference? One explanation is that pushing someone to their death feels more personal, activating an emotional aversion to killing another person. But we feel conflicted because we know it's still the logical choice. Trolleyology has been criticized by some philosophers and psychologists. They argue that it doesn't reveal anything because its premise is so unrealistic that study participants don't take it seriously. But new technology is making this kind of ethical analysis more important than ever. For example, driverless cars may have to handle choices like causing a small accident to prevent a larger one. Meanwhile, governments are researching autonomous military drones that could wind up making decisions of whether they'll risk civilian casualties to attack a high-value target. If we want these actions to be ethical, we have to decide in advance how to value human life and judge the greater good. So researchers who study autonomous systems are collaborating with philosophers to address the complex problem of programming ethics into machines, which goes to show that even hypothetical dilemmas can wind up on a collision course with the real world.
Yes. Are you done with the video? Yes, please respond quickly.
Yes, sir.
Right, now start your views. Those who haven't participated, please start your views. Otherwise, I will make others 0 in this session. Yes. I have discussed the 3 prominent theories. I have discussed the trolley problem. Now you respond with your decision making.
Sir, section H, roll number 52.
What's your name?
Salman Alam.
Yes, go ahead, Salman.
Sir, in trolley problems, we have to choose one person for sacrifice other 5 more persons, because one person and there were 5 person. Then it is more important to save 5 persons' life. Compare one person's. That's all.
Okay. Next.
Sir,
Yes.
Subhanshi, section section G, and roll number G.
Yes, go ahead. Roll number
63.
section G.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Sir, firstly, I would like to ask that what we have to discuss, we saw in the video, is it truth that if no one is our family member in that 5 or 1 persons, then we will sacrifice 1 person for saving 5. And what we have to discuss in that video?
That you have seen.
Just explain explanation of that. Hello?
Yes. Look, in the video, there's a trolley case, right? It has 2 versions. Okay. In the first version, you have to make decision. Okay. To save either 5 or 1. That's one choice. In the second version, you have to make decision whether to push the fat man to save 5 or not. You have to apply the reasoning.
So in both conditions, logically we should go with saving 5 and sacrificing 1.
Okay, in the second version.
So it feels bad ethically that we should not sacrifice the person by pushing him in the front of that train. But if there is someone like police or soldier, they will do that. They will sacrifice their self for saving 5.
Okay. Next.
Sir, section H39.
Right, go ahead.
Sir, if I am there at the position of that man who is standing in the first version in trolley problem, definitely I would change the track. I will take my decision according to right decision, like utility region of a John towards miles, like a maximum number of people. I see the result. I take my decision according to the result, that outcomes. I will change the track. And the second version, I will not push the man away from the bridge. That I will according to the second model which focus on these duties. So I don't think I will push the man.
Okay. Next.
सर जिन लोगों ने उस दिन रिस्पॉन्स कर दिया था फिर से बोलना है क्या?
No.
ओके सर.
So section H, roll number 62.
Number
62.
62. Yes.
So in first scenario, I will change the track to sacrifice one life instead of a 5 person's life.
Hmm.
As but in the video, it's not said that the first person was not trapped. He was just working. If I switch the track, he will see that the trolley is coming, but he will run away. Of course, he will run that the trolley is coming towards him. In second scenario, I will not push the man from the pole toward to stop the train, as it will feel to me like a guilty person that I pushed someone
Hmm.
to save someone's life.
Hmm.
But in the same case, I will also think if I will push that person to the track to stop the train, so I will save 5 persons.
Hmm.
In the second scenario, I will push the person to stop the train to
Hmm.
save the 5 persons.
Hmm.
That's also.
Okay. Next.
So Aman Yadav, section H, roll number 9.
Yes, Aman.
Sir, when first of all, as we see in the condition that our main aim is to kindly maximize the life, means kindly save the maximum life. But for as in duty of an human being, for example, if we see our soldiers, irrespective of any caste, religion, they think that we all are equal there. So they also think in such a way that if by dying once, by giving one life, if 100 of life is saved, then it is a very big uh, deed, or we can say very big, good helping to the society. But in this case, first of all, the workers or anybody, if they are mere normal people also, in today's condition, we can see everyone will be first trying to save their own life. So firstly, we have to convey these message to for a well-being of society that we all are equal, and another person is one of our in relations, or maybe brother or the sister. So first of all, we have to clarify all of them that be ethical in the thinking of that. Don't be selfish that I should save my life or one should save his life. If one life is going irrespective of 5 lives, then it is also considered as one of the patriotic acts, we can say. And for that contribution, even government has to think upon that. If one is contributing its life in that, they must give some reward to the families, that maybe that one person is the only hand of the family, uh, of, for their expenses. So government has also give some expenses to the family. So I do believe that in first case, I will be taking the life of one person in saving the life of 5 persons. And in the second case, uh, by using one person's life, I should try that in my hands as possible as life I can save, I will try to save. If in that's a very critical situation, first of all. And for this, we have to deal our mind with mentally and emotionally also. So I will try in that condition also. If at my condition, at the current situation, if one's life is saving, so I will try to maximize that thing, that if lives are saving and one life is going, so that will be appropriate as to save that maximum lives. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Aman. Next.
Sir, roll number 45, section G.
Hmm.
Prashant.
Yes, Prashant.
Sir, most of us will try to save maximum lives, and it's also true, and it's also right. And I also go for this, but I will change the. Um, I will change my change. I will change my train's track, and I think we all know we have a horn in our train, and also a chain system in all blocks of our train, in all blocks in our train. So if there is a chain, then I can pull the chain and stop the train. First point. And if it is not in the and it is if it is not the chain system in the train, then I will also try to help to get help from the horn, so that the person will hear that horn and will get aside from the track. But at last, if I don't have any, if I don't have any way to rescue him, I will sacrifice his life. It will be a very drastic impact on the driver's brain, but it should rescue 5 lives in front of one. Thank you, sir.
Okay, next. More views?
Sir, roll number 20, section H.
Okay, speak.
Sir, in first case, as I don't have any options, so I will save the life of 5 men. But in second case, I have option to run away from situation, as the man standing above the bridge, he has chance to either he can jump, or he can let these 5 people die. So I will not push the man. It's his decision, and I will not involve in the second situation, basically.
Okay.
Sir, what is your opinion in this situation?
I will giving my opinion in the next lecture. Let all the express their views first of all.
Sir, roll number 5, section G.
5. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, if we consider one first version, then the only way to save the lives of the 5 workers is to divert the trolley onto another track that only has 1 worker on it. If it diverts the trolley onto the other track, this 1 worker will die, but the other 5 workers will be saved. And second version, uh, the only way to save the lives of the 5 workers is to push this stranger off the footbridge and onto the tracks below, where his large body will stop the trolley, and the stranger will die if it does this, but the 5 workers will be saved. Yes, sir.
Okay. More views? Okay, let me finish this discussion off over here with some conclusive remark on this trolley problem. First of all, we have to understand trolley problem is very genuine. Looking at the current technological development in artificial intelligence, soft computing, algorithm development, and devices and machines, we are creating day by day, and we are depending on the machine learning functions also. Look, we have to understand, we have to agreed upon the general principles. Okay, for example, driverless car, the project by Google and Tesla, that's due because society is not agreed upon the principles. What is dilemma in that? Look, how lakhs of people dying every day throughout the accidents, and that can be recovered. We can, if we can accept that maximum life saving and minimum causality, and we can design the machines, cars, everything, the whole transportation system can be designed in such a manner to avoid maximum causalties. Okay, but in that case, there will be worst possibility that, suppose, let's take the example of driverless car. In that way, suppose you buy a car which has this kind of algorithm, right, to save maximum people and make minimum causality. Okay, so in case if there are more number of people in the car can kill one pedestrian on the road, two pedestrians on the road, but car has to decide with the numbers, more and less. And then in case, suppose you are alone driving the car, and in worst case, if accident occurs and there are more numbers on the road, then car would hit itself and you may die in that case. But that is a dilemma. Nobody would like to buy such a car which can kill its owner in the worst case. That is where we have to understand there's a problem between the maximum good between the self-interest. Okay. Nobody is not. Please avoid this background noise. Yes. So nobody is going to accept this general principle, right? Let's talk about the runway trolley. In the first case, the choices are confined. Either course has to take place. There actually you are not tested on your morality because you don't have the freedom. Either action has to take place, either you have to go straight or you have to turn. Then in that case, pure rationality will work, and you will rationalize it that since my intention is not to kill the one worker, but he will be killed. Anyways, 5 workers will be killed or 1 worker will be killed. Then you make this consequentialist decision making that better to save 5 workers than the 1. So in the first version, you cannot apply the deontological decision because situation is confined. If you remain idle, you will go straight and kill 5, and that would be highly irrational. Okay, so in the first version, we apply the consequentialist model with the reason that we don't have much freedom and the choices are confined. But in the second version, since you have the freedom, you can avoid one course of action. You can push the fat man or not to push the fat man. That kind of freedom is there in the second version. There you apply the deontology model and say that killing innocent is wrong. That's the universal duty to humankind. That killing innocent is wrong. You feel that action is wrong in itself. So in the first case, you cannot judge your action because that action is very confined. Okay, that's why you judge by result. You make decision by the result. But in the second case, you can judge by your action, right? Because you have the freedom. So you apply the deontology model, according to which our actions, duties, rules should be followed in principle without looking at the results. So in the second version, 90% of people would not push the fat man. Okay, but in the first version, 90% of people would change the track. And that is where we have to understand that even ethical decision making may have the objective universal reasons. To apply. We don't want to kill anyone. Neither want to kill one person in the first case, nor the 5 workers on the second case. But we have to apply a decision-making model with reasons, with objective reasons. In the first case, objective reasons supports changing track, but in the second case, objective reasons don't support pushing the fat man. That's why in the second version we apply the deontology. Yes, of course, 5 workers will die, and we will have the guilt. We will have the personal emotion to the dying the 5 workers. We will have it, but still we have to think that the right decision is based on universal reasons. Okay, that's where I give my conclusive remark to this both versions and through the models. Thank you very much. We'll carrying on discussion with new topic in the next class. Okay. If you remain with some doubts and questions, you can finishing this lecture here off. Thank you very much. Now you can leave.
हमारे घर में होता है तेरी वाहन का मैं अपनी